Good morning and welcome back to Spurs Latest. I am your host, Trip Graham. So happy to have you here. So much to talk about in the NBA from last night. So much going on with the NBA tonight as the Spurs take on the 76ers. Big game tonight. Let's get back on track after the winning streak ends. Lost the other night. Now let's get back on the winning streak. All right, let's get into it. So much to talk about. But first, I was, just looking at some stats in the DraftKings Sportsbook last night, and one of the biggest things I wanted to look at was Coach of the Year, because I think the odds are pretty crazy. All right, so number one, so JB Bickerstaff is the projected Coach of the Year this year at a pretty wide margin right now. He's the coach of the Pistons, and if the Pistons win the East, it looks like he is a shoe-in to win Coach of the Year. And all the power to them. They have been absolutely grinding this year. They have the roster that is definitely an NBA contender. And JB Bickerstaff is definitely a great coach. He got the Cavs back to the playoffs just a few years ago. And he got the Pistons, really a team that is just not known in the recent years as being good at all. Got them back at star level with their MVP candidate, Cade Cunningham. But this had me a few questions. Even though they're the best team in the East, I don't have him as my coach of the year. Personally, I would be giving that to Joe Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics. Everyone counted out the Celtics at the beginning of this year with Tatum out. And it looks like, Tatum could be returning, but if not, he has pushed them to play above their weight class all season. I did get to watch the Celtics take on Giannis last night. I saw Giannis was in his first game back, so I did want to tune in. So I got to watch some segments of that game, and Giannis was back, and the Celtics just destroyed them, absolutely destroyed them. And I think that's all a testament to Joe Mazzulla and their GM. They had a great job at drafting that Ugo Gonzalez. He went off last night, 18 points and over 10 rebounds, just destroyed Giannis. I mean, put on a better stat line than Giannis. So awesome to see that. But I would really would put it at Joe Mazzulla at the coach of the year. He is just having them punch above their weight class all season. The players clearly love playing for him. And yeah, I mean, they were not supposed to be in this point of where they are in the season, but thanks to what he coins Missoula ball, they are. Just an unbelievable team over on the Boston Celtics, and I would love to see them in the NBA Finals against our Spurs. Now, why I wouldn't have Mitch Johnson winning Coach of the Year? A few reasons. So this Spurs makeup of this roster has been building for a few years. So as much as you could put it on Mitch Johnson, I think it's as a testament to our GM. We have been drafting extremely well. Probably the best in the league, I would say. We are the best drafters in the league. Maybe the Celtics are number two, but I would definitely say the Spurs have the best draft in the league over the last few years. Yes. So as not to take away from Mitch Johnson, it's just that the GM of the Spurs have been so consistent over the last few years that actually hurts his case. So just for stat wise, just for the numbers wise, so JB Bickerstaff, like I said, he is definitely the front runner of winning Coach of the Year. He's minus 320 according to DraftKings. Joe Mazzulla is at plus 450. So quite a large margin between that first and second place. And then Mitch Johnson is quite farther back from him, from Joe Mazzulla. He's at plus 900. Fourth place is actually Charles Lee of the Hornets. The Hornets have definitely been punching above their weight class all season, and Colin Knippel is just having one of the best rookie seasons I've seen in a long time. We have such a great class of rookies this year, between Colin Knippel especially, and Cooper Flag over anyone. Dylan Harvard Jr. We just have such a great round of rookies this year. It's very fun, and the league is very much in good hands. So who would you have as your Coach of the Year this year? I would be giving it to Joe Mazzulla. I know it's pretty far off in the odds, but I just see that as such a testament of coaching over JB Bickerstaff. Not not discounting anything the Pistons have done this season. It's just so hard. The expectations the Celtics had going into the season of not being a finals contender and then being right back to where, over the Knicks over in the Eastern Conference. So, it's really fun. Just thought process with these coaches. Charles Lee of the Hornets is definitely just an unbelievable coach. Really has got that team back on track. LaMelo Ball and Colin Knippel are just a great 1-2 punch. And again, testament to their GM of getting Colin Knippel because he is clearly a star in this league. I know Cooper Flagg is definitely the number 1 draft pick, but Colin Knippel could be seen as one of the best, 3-point shooters potentially of all time. If you keep at this pace, obviously, it's going to be extremely hard to keep at this pace, obviously. But, his game dictates that, he's very comfortable out on the floor. One of the things from Colin Knippel I've seen really much is he plays that Luka ball. He plays the ball down to his level. He plays the style of game of, like, you're going to have to play to his, his strengths, which is slowing the ball down. Colin Knippel is extremely good at that. So, I'm very excited to see how this plays out. I definitely will say Joe Mazzulla is my coach of the year. It looks like JB Bickerstaff is going to win it. Well deserved. Well deserved. All right. Well, let's get into it tonight. Like I talked yesterday, the 76ers take on our Spurs. Big game tonight. We got to get back on winning track. The 76ers have been tough franchise, what's his name? Embiid is on and off the court all the time, and it looks like that's going to be his career now. He will never, I will make a prediction right now, he'll never play 10 games in a row again. That's pretty much almost a guarantee at this point of his career. He'll never play 10 games in a row. I can almost never see it. Some of the big keys to the game tonight is definitely locking up Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is an assassin in the paint. He is just an unbelievable player, one of my favorite players in the league to watch. So I expect big game from Castle, Vassell, Dylan Harper out on the wings. We really have to limit his, his driving into the paint. That's one of his best parts of his game. So, we'll play that 2-3 zone if we need to block that out. But, Wemby is going to hopefully have a big game. The 76ers are very depleted at that big man positions with Embiid especially out. So I expect to get a big game from Wemby. Champagny, let's see some big threes coming out of this game, and it's going to be a really fun one. I'm really looking forward to this. So, a couple things from I was watching the game last night of Giannis last night. Wanted to watch his return to the NBA. He was out for over 5 weeks. Obviously, we had all that drama with Giannis, if he's going to stay on the team, if he's going to move, if he's going to, he was the biggest name at the deadline, and he didn't get moved. It's always fun to see how that works out. So, Giannis is going to be out. I think he's going to be out of the Bucks after this offseason. I think that this is done. And I have a few thoughts or reasons why. So, from watching the Bucks, I had a few questions. Number one, Drew Holiday is a winner in this league. Drew Holiday has always been a winner in this league. He took those Pelicans teams doing much better than they were expected to do. Came over to the Bucks. They won a championship with Drew Holiday and Giannis. And my take is that the Bucks really punted on Drew Holiday before they should have. Drew Holiday was such a catalyst for that Bucks team to build around. Giannis and Drew Holiday played so well complementary ball together, and he brought out the best out of Giannis. Now, obviously in this league, point guards are a commodity, but they also age faster than any other players. So, when they shipped Drew Holiday out, they got Dame Lillard, but it never worked out. Obviously, Dame Lillard went down with the ACL, and the Bucks just really have never gotten back on track since that all went down. Now, my biggest thing is I think that the Bucks should have kept Drew Holiday. Maybe they were looking for the site. The grass is always greener. Ooh, we can get this, the bright shiny object, which was at the time Damian Lillard wanting to get out of Portland. And funny thing is, he's already back in Portland. Um, and Drew Holiday was such a catalyst for that team that they punted on before they really knew what they had and how good of a relationship they had. Obviously, they shipped out Chris Middleton this season. So my biggest thought is Giannis's friends are almost all gone. Bobby Portis is the last one, and he obviously of the three, I'm taking Bobby Portis last over Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. So it's an interesting situation for Giannis. I don't see the GM doing right by him of putting the right building blocks around him to win. I don't. That team is a weak team. I watched them play against the Boston Celtics last night. The Boston Celtics last night were out without, their top player, Jaylen Brown, and then also Nima Kaida, who was unbelievable player. It really stepped up for the Boston Celtics this year as that being their starting center. Vucevic obviously got the start for the Celtics last night with Kaida out. And the Celtics dominated. They had a rookie out there, Ugo Gonzalez, just dominating the Bucks. Fully strength Bucks at this point, and they can't get over a very depleted Celtics roster. So that tells me everything I need to know about the Bucks. They are not a playoff contending team. Absolutely not a championship team. Giannis can't do it by himself. That is a big thing. He cannot do it by himself. No matter how good he is, he's not going to be able to do it around by himself. So I just really think about hey, where will he be playing next season? And my biggest thoughts is, I think he should go look, and I'm okay with it. And he needs to championship hunt. If I'm him, I'm going to the Warriors this offseason. I'm trying to figure out how can I go play for the Warriors. If I'm him, I'm not trying to play with Luka. I don't think they're going to play complimentary ball on the Lakers. I think he would be very complimentary to that Warriors roster, playing with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry in particular. So where do you guys want to see Giannis playing this offseason? I believe he's going to get traded. I believe that it's the best case scenario. I don't see the Bucks building around him. They would have to be paying out some boatloads of money to get some big players on their team. And I think at this point of his career, Giannis wants to win another championship, and he's going to go out and try to do that with Steph on the Warriors. You heard it here first. I think that Giannis will be a Warrior this offseason. Let's see how it plays out. And if I was the Warriors, I'd be kicking myself for trading Kuminga right now, because you should have included him on the deal this offseason. Kristaps Porzingis was not the deal the Warriors should have been made. They should have punted on this season 100% and said, we'll figure it out this offseason. I don't know what they were thinking with Kristaps Porzingis and getting rid of Kuminga. Just a really, really bad trade, I think, for the Warriors. That is not going to pay off for them. So what do you guys think about that? I think that Giannis is a future Warrior. Yep. All right, well, last thing, let's just talk about some things around the NBA. Stephen A. Smith is getting a lot of flack online saying Tatum's not going to change the Celtics. I think he's changed the Celtics, absolutely. Tatum's a top 5 player in the NBA anytime he's out on the court, so I definitely see him changing the Celtics. And if he comes back this season, I would definitely put the Celtics as a favor of, with our Spurs of winning the championship. Some other things. So Steph Curry, like I was mentioning with the Warriors, he's injured for 5 more games. Kristaps Porzingis is going through the same thing that the Hawks and the Celtics went through last year. Of is he injured? Is he not? He has this mysterious illness that they're calling mysterious illness. It's a tough situation for him, and I can't even believe at this point of his career he's even eligible to play. I can't believe the doctors approved Kristaps Porzingis to play. So. Really a big thought about that. Other thing is James Harden did break his thumb. He is still playing, but he's going to be dealing with a broken thumb. And last thing on my prep sheet is that Colin Knueppel he hit the 3-point record last week, and now he has overtaken Cooper Flagg as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, when you're breaking that kind of record, yeah, I think that you're a rookie of the year candidate. And so let's see how that plays out. I definitely would say Colin Knippel is my rookie of the year this year if he wins. If he is able to keep this pace of playing so well and that three ball is stroking. So shout out Colin Knippel. I look forward to seeing him and his four other Knippel brothers in the NBA. Wonder if the Hornets could figure out how to get a few more of them. It's like going to be like a Giannis situation or a Steph Curry and Seth Curry situation. Get all the Knippel brothers on the same team. Would love to see that. All right. Well, that's it from me on Spurs Latest today. So happy to have you here. And I will see you in the next one. I'm Trip Graham, your host. I'll catch you later.